Hey, I'm Stephanie, and I need to tell you something that may make me seem a little unhinged, and that's that I have been thinking about a $160 lipstick all afternoon. Not just any lipstick, the ones from the new La Beauté Louis Vuitton collection. It launched today in China, opens for online orders globally on August 25th, and rolls out in select Louis Vuitton boutiques on August 29th. Lipsticks, lip balms, eyeshadow palettes, all created in collaboration with the great Pat McGrath. I'm not here to unbox Louis Vuitton makeup. I'm here to unpack why a lipstick at this price point isn't really about lipstick at all. Let's start with the lineup. If you're a makeup nerd like me and you've already seen all this, feel free to use the timestamps, but if you haven't had time to doom scroll all the hot takes, this is what we're dealing with. 55 lipsticks in satin and matte finishes, $160 each, and they will be refillable, and it looks like those refills will be around $70. 10 tinted lip balms for $160 each, with glossy sheer shades, also refillable, and once again, the refills will be about $70. And then the crown jewels, the 8 eyeshadow palettes, $250 each with $92 refills. All of them come in chic black and white packaging with gold accents, and they feel less like makeup and more like tiny luxury handbags for your face. Of course, this being Louis Vuitton, it's not just about the makeup. There are holders and travel cases and little monogrammed leather accessories. Basically, an entire wardrobe for your new lipstick. There's a lipstick case with a chain that's about $180 so that your $100 lipstick can have its own designer handbag, a blotting paper case for about $560, a beauty wardrobe for $980 so that you can buy all 55 lipsticks, 10 lip balms, and 8 eyeshadow palettes, and they can hang out in their own little gated community so that any Hermes or Tom Ford or Chanel makeup doesn't have to get jealous and revolt. And then there's a specially designed giant vanity trunk modeled after Pat McGrath's backstage beauty salon that can be purchased, but of course the price for this one is only available upon request. It's all very, your lipstick needs a better outfit than you do. Some of these cases cost more than the actual product inside, which is kind of hilarious or kind of evil genius depending on how you look at it. They've dubbed their lipstick line LV Rouge, and they will be available in 2 richly pigmented finishes, including a velvety matte and a satin. A natural wax formula from upcycled rose, jasmine, and mimosa flowers is spiked with hyaluronic acid to infuse each swipe with major moisture. Okay, let's dissect this marketing language for a second, shall we? Upcycled rose wax? What is that? I mean, I am all for upcycling, but doesn't that normally mean taking trash and then creatively reusing it? So they're trying to sell us lipstick made of trash and charge us $160? Interesting. Especially because trash is smelly, and I'm assuming that wax from flowers is going to be very fragrant. So any people out there who love makeup but hate fragrance, I don't think will be very happy with this. And it's spiked with hyaluronic acid. That makes it feel a little bit alcoholic. But if you know me, you know I am an eyeshadow girly at heart, so let's take a closer look at those quads. The LV Ombre eye palettes come in 8 quads housed in glamorous, refillable compacts. The shadows come in 6 high-tech finishes from ultra matte to mega gleaming glitter. Shimmer particles are wrapped in a translucent gel to reflect light and maximize a mirror-like shine. Once again, let's take a look at that marketing language, because at first, that makes it sound like it's going to be looking very special and ethereal, and I'm assuming it's not going to be like that glitter in Vaseline formula that I see at the drugstore around Halloween around here. I'm assuming it will be much more luxurious, especially since this is Pat McGrath. But did anyone else get that image based on this description? But all jokes aside, even though the price point is insane, I am sure that these formulas will be lovely because it is, after all, Pat McGrath working on them. So let's take a closer look at the quads. The first one is $150, and it's literally just called Beige. Which one do you think I want? Yep, this is one of them. Then there's $250 Nude Mirage. It's got nude in the name, so of course I want that one because makeup only is really makeup if you can't see it, right? Then there's 350 Dazzling Gaze, which looks beautiful, but it's way too pink for my taste. Then we have 450 Cosmic Dreams, is a gorgeous purple color story that I definitely want. I think it would bring out the green in my eyes. Then we have 650 Waking Dawn. Sounds kind of like it should be part of the Twilight Saga, but it looks like a peachy pink dream. Then we have 896 Monogram, and this one has gorgeous colors, the nude ones anyway, but that pop of burgundy is a little bit too much for this beige babe. And at $250 a pop, every single color has to be absolutely perfect for me. Moving on to quad 950, the sky is the limit, is the blue quad, which other than that intriguing taupe, completely intimidates me. And then 951, Force of Nature, made me drool a little bit. That olive greeny shade with the pale pink and the gold and the brown. It looks like it was specifically designed to test my willpower. If I could only get one, would this be it? Maybe. Do I need any of these? No. I already own enough eyeshadow to completely repaint the Sistine Chapel, Fallout and all. I'm dreaming about these, but they're just not a realistic purchase for me in the near future, even after my August no-buy is over. But did my brain light up like a disco ball when I saw that olive shadow? Absolutely, yes. Do any of these products look revolutionary? No, but the price point may be, because when the Wall Street Journal covers a makeup launch, we're not just in beauty news anymore. We're entering economic anthropology. Because this isn't just expensive makeup, it's Pat McGrath makeup. And if you only know her from her own brand, then you're missing a huge chunk of the story. Because Pat isn't just someone with a makeup line. She has been the driving force behind so many of the iconic looks that we have seen on fashion runways for great fashion houses, including Louis Vuitton. And she's kind of the reason that a lot of the trends that we know and use even exist. She's often called the most influential makeup artist in the world. So when Louis Vuitton finally decided to join several of the other high fashion houses in creating their own makeup line, of course they would ask Pat. It's not some random collab. This is someone who has been shaping the way we all have been thinking about how makeup should look since way before TikTok or even YouTube existed. Because she's deeply involved in so many different aspects of the industry, she really knows how to set benchmarks, not just in quality, but also in pricing, because Pat McGrath has a history of moving the goalpost on price. The whole uproar regarding the pricing of this Louis Vuitton launch is reminding me so much of Pat McGrath's first Mothership launch back in 2017. Those palettes had 10 pans, gorgeous packaging, incredible formulas, and they cost $120. At the time, that was wild. People were losing their minds over the nerve of that price point, because back then a luxury palette cost max, I don't know, maybe $60 or $70. People were clutching their pearls along with their wallets, and then we bought them anyway, or at least some of us did. Hi. Fast forward to 2025, and we're getting the Louis Vuitton quads. 4 shades for $250. That's twice the Mothership price for less than half the product, which makes me wonder, how far do we think luxury beauty can push us before we all start to just laugh and walk away? Pat's been testing that boundary for almost a decade, pretty much training us for this moment. She was like, okay, you got used to $120 for eyeshadow. Let's see what you do with $250. It's no wonder the woman's a millionaire. But let's be honest about what happens in our brains when we see these products. I didn't think, do I need more eyeshadow? We already know the answer to that. I thought, I wonder what it would feel like to own that. That is not about utility. That is about identity, story, the moment you pick it up and enjoy it every morning. That packaging is couture for your vanity. These aren't products that you toss into a bag. They're designed to sit on display and to catch the light and to make you pause every time you reach for them. And maybe that's okay. Beautiful objects can genuinely enhance our daily lives, like art or vintage perfume bottles or first edition books. But here's the tricky bit. At what point does I love beautiful things become I need people to know that I can afford beautiful things? Because let's try to keep this as real as possible. As beautiful as the makeup inside probably is, what we're really paying for here is the logo, that black and white case, the gold detailing, the LV. And some of us will see this and think, it's gorgeous, it's timeless, it's worth saving up for. But others are going to see it and think, So basically I'm paying $100 extra just to advertise for Louis Vuitton. Honestly, I get both sides, and personally, I'm a little conflicted. I do get genuine joy out of beautiful packaging like this. In fact, I keep empty luxury compacts so that I can repot things in them just because they are so beautiful. But when packaging accounts for this much of the price, well, let's just say that if packaging didn't matter, we'd probably all be wandering around with makeup in Tupperware containers, but you don't see many of us doing that. So tell me in the comments, does beautiful packaging like this make the whole experience feel more special to you? Or does obvious branding feel like a tax for showing loyalty? There is a little curveball though. All of this luxurious, beautiful packaging is refillable, and not in the pseudo refillable way that a lot of luxury brands were doing it, where they would offer you theoretically refillable packaging, but they never offered any refills. In this case, it looks like the refills are going online the same time that the whole shebang is. That doesn't make these items any less pricey, but it does shift the math a little bit depending on how you use your products. If you're the sort of person that really uses things up, then you're just investing once in the case and then you're just topping it up. Now it's time for some real talk, because if I'm being honest, I really want like 5 or maybe even 6 of these things, which is insane. But if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that just because I want something doesn't mean I get it. But I think I'd like at least 3 of the eyeshadow palettes, and I would want to try 1 lipstick and 1 lip balm. Not because I need them, because nobody needs a $250 eyeshadow palette, never mind 3 of them, but because something about these bypasses my logic entirely. And here's where intentional indulgence comes in. If I buy it, I want to be honest about why. Is it because Pat's artistry excites me? That feels right. I've enjoyed using her products for years. In fact, I'm wearing one of her eyeshadow palettes on my eyes today and one of her blushes on my cheeks, and I really like them. So I feel like this launch is something I would probably enjoy. Is it because I enjoy a premium packaging experience? Well, I definitely do. That's one of the reasons I like luxury makeup so much. But considering the sheer amount of makeup that I have, I think I have to be careful, especially at this price point. Because if I were to just own 1 or 2 eyeshadow palettes, then I think it would make sense to invest in a beautiful structural piece that I could enjoy because it would be out on my vanity. But if you saw my makeup collection video, then you know that it's more likely that it would be stored in a drawer, not on display. Is it to show that I own luxury? I don't think so, but let's take a closer look at that. Okay, when I'm applying makeup, for the most part, I'm sitting alone in a room and there's no one to signal to, so I don't think so. But I do sometimes showcase makeup on my channel. However, if you've watched me for any length of time, I think you're pretty aware that I don't necessarily care about that sort of thing. Although I do imagine that it would feel really cool to just whip out that lipstick and apply it when I'm out and about. Although when I really think about how that would actually work, most of the time when I'm traveling, it's with a really simple, like uncool belt bag. So I'm wondering if that really fits the Louis Vuitton aesthetic. The truth is I think I want to own part of this collection because of number 1, the success I've had with Pat's products in the past, but number 2, because I am also a huge sucker for luxurious packaging. So I definitely want this. The question is, will I buy any of it? Probably not anytime soon. I have been working up the budgetary courage to try something from Hermes for years, and this new collection makes Hermes's price point look downright affordable. So I think it's going to take me a while to work up to Louis Vuitton. Launches like this are great because they're polarizing. They force us to confront what we truly value in beauty. For some people, it's performance. For others, it's price per ounce. Yet others value artistry and craftsmanship. And then other people, it's all about the ritual, that moment where applying that lipstick elevates their entire day. And some people, it's all about variety, and they would much rather purchase several different items for the price of just one of these. And I think all of those perspectives are valid. But whatever your perspective, we have to be honest. Luxury beauty was never about practicality. It's about story and experience and aspiration. And that's okay, as long as we realize that that's what we're paying for. I still haven't decided if someday I will eventually try Louis Vuitton beauty, but just talking through it today did give me a little bit of perspective on what I value in beauty and why. And now I would really like to know, are you planning on picking anything up from this collection, or do you think the price point is just insane? Or were you definitely planning on picking something up and then once you saw the price point, you were like, never mind. If you are going to get something, please tell me what you're going to get and why. Is it the packaging? Is it the color story? Is the fact that Pat's behind it? I really want to know. If you enjoy beauty that looks at the why behind what we buy, then please like, comment, subscribe, and check out this video here. Thanks for hanging out, and a huge thanks to all my patrons and channel members, including my Adagio angels, for supporting this content. And I hope we can all remember that even stumbling can be a form of moving forward. So let's stumble in style.